Self-esteem is the foundation for happiness. And happiness is the end goal in the game, right? And when I talk about happiness, I'm not talking about having a good time on Friday night, although it's good to have a good time on Friday night. I'm talking about happiness in the Aristotelian sense of a life well lived. Blood, sweat, and tears happiness. When you're 80 years old, you can look back and say, man, that was tough, and I'm glad I did it. Sometimes business people get confused. They think money's the end of the game. Nothing wrong with money. Money is a good thing. However, money is not an end. It can be a means to an end. It's not an end. Happiness is the end of the game. Happiness has to be earned. It has to be achieved. And self-esteem has to be earned and has to be achieved. In order to have a high level of self-esteem, you must believe at a very deep, what I'll call subconscious level, that you have the right to be happy, that you have the moral right to be happy. Unfortunately, a very commonly held belief in our society is that as human beings, we're born bad. And the reason we're born bad is we're selfish, right? And selfish is bad, everybody knows that. I can see Johnny in the sandbox, 3 or 4 years old, playing with his truck, not bothering anybody. Along comes Fred. Fred would like to have Johnny's truck. Johnny doesn't want to give Fred his truck. Discussion, debate, argument ensues. Mom, Dad, Sunday school teacher, kindergarten teacher gets involved in that argument. And Mom says, hey, Johnny, give that truck to Fred. Don't be selfish. Don't be bad. 2 great moral lessons being taught right there in the sandbox. First, where did Fred get the right to Johnny's truck? You want to know where our social welfare system comes from? There it is, done in the sandbox. Now, Fred wants a nice 4x4 Ford. I can't blame him, and Johnny's supposed to provide him one. But you know what? The effect on Fred is trivial. The real effect is on Johnny. And everybody in this room probably is Johnny. And what did many of you learn in that sandbox? You learned at a very young age that for some undefined reason, you had a moral obligation to help Fred. Even though Fred's lazy, incompetent, stupid, you don't even like the guy. But you've got some moral obligation to Fred that he has a claim on your life. How about self-sacrifice? That is the moral code of our society. It's everywhere. It's in church, it's in school, it's on TV, it's politicians sell it all day long. We're all supposed to self-sacrifice. I want to ask you to ask what I think yourself, what is the most important question you can ask yourself. And I suspect the people in this room have asked this question, but I find very few people have actually asked this question. And here's the profound question. Do you have as much right to your life as anybody else has to their life? Do you have as much right to your life as anybody else has to their life? Of course you do. Of course you do. Why would you believe anything different than that?